Hello guys, and welcome back to the channel. In this one we're going to learn how to build a countdown. So essentially you may have like a promo or like a discount, for a particular service on your website, and usually you want to take advantage of a countdown to motivate your users to make a purchase or something like that. And then at the end of that countdown you usually want something to happen. So that's what we're going to learn how to build in this tutorial. If you're not subscribed to my channel and you like content around web development, I want to encourage you to subscribe, and thank you so much. All right, let's get into it. So first off, let's minimize this, and what we have here is basically index.html, styles.css, and script.js. So basically on index.html, let's start and create a boilerplate, and then I'm just going to name this let's link up with our styles.css, and let's add our script.js here. Okay, so we are good to go. So for our index HTML, basically we're just going to add a h1 that is going to say happy. It's going to say new year countdown. And we're going to add a div that is going to have an ID. So I'm just going to say it's going to have an ID of countdown. Okay, and it's just going to be an empty div, but in the meantime we can just say countdown on it, and let's save and see what we have. So let me just open this with live server, and basically this is what we have. So I'm just going to close this up and let's continue. So I'll go to my styles.css and I would add some styles. So first off, let's do a reset. So I'll do margin and set it to 0. I'll replicate that for the padding. I'll do box sizing and set it to border box, and then I'll add some styles for the body. Basically the body is going to have a font family of, I'm just going to use this one, and I'm going to give it a height, right, of 100% of the viewport height. Let's do our display and set it to flex. Let's do align items, set it to center. Okay, let's do flex direction and set it to column. Then we're going to add some padding on the top, so that should be padding hyphen top, and we're just going to do 100 px. Let's add a background, and we're going to do a URL of, okay, I didn't get the image, so I need to quickly get the image to make sure that so I grabbed an image and it's inside of the images folder, and it's bg.png. okay, so this is the image we grabbed, and we're going to set it to no repeat, and we're going to do a background size of cover. Okay, let's add some styles for the h1, and basically let's just do a font size, right, of, I'm going to do 55 px, and we're going to do a color of white and a line height of, I think, 2. okay, then let's get our countdown. Let's do a background color of, I'll use my RGBA. Ouch. I'll use my RGBA and I'll just do this black, and I'll do 0.5 and save. Okay, then let's do some padding of 10 pixels. Then let's give it a font size of 45 pixels and save. Okay, let's make this padding 20 pixels, so 20, and let's give it a color of white as well. Okay, so that's better. And let's give it a border radius of 5 pixels. Okay, so I think I'm going to reduce the opacity to maybe like 4 and save. Okay, so that seems okay. All right, so basically we're done with this side. What we need to do now is we need to add some JavaScript to add logic to this document we just created. So I'm going to go to my script.js, and basically I'm first going to start by creating a variable. So I would specify where I want to count to. Okay, and I would say that I want to count to 1st of January, so that will be January 2021. Okay, then I'll create a function. So I'll say const, and I'll say c equals to set interval, right? And within this I'm going to create an arrow function. Okay, all right, so what I'm basically going to do is I'm going to say, okay, so within the arrow function I may just add my comma here and set the interval to 1000, which is 1 second, so 1000 millisecond. And then I'll just, let me give some space so we can see what we're doing. And then I'll go ahead and create a date. So I'll say const end date, right? And I'll set it to new date, and I'll pass the count to variable inside of it. Okay, so this is the date we are counting to, right? We've put it in a variable. I'll create a variable for the current date, and basically I'll just set it to new date. Okay, all right, so now what I'm going to do next is I'm going to calculate the time between the end date and the current date in seconds. So what I'm doing is I'll create a variable and I'll call it total seconds, right? And I'm going to set it to be equals to my end date minus my current date. Okay, and I'm going to divide it by 1000. That's to set it to seconds. Okay, so basically let's go ahead and then set our, so I'll say const days, that's the number of days between the current date and the end date, and I'll say math.floor to round it, and I'll open my bracket and say total seconds divided by 3600. Okay, and then I'll go ahead and still divide it by 24. So that's how you get the total number of days. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm just going to replicate this 2 3 4. Okay, so maybe I'll stretch out my browser just a little so we can see, and then I'll make this is going to be hours. Okay, so math.flow will be total seconds, and I'm just going to get rid of this, right? And I'm going to say modulus 24. Okay, so in other words, what is going to be left after you subtract the number of days, okay, from this? Basically that's what this means. Okay, and for this one I'm going to say minutes, right? And I'm going to make this is going to be divided by 60. Okay, so let me just get rid of all of this. So total seconds divided by 60, right? And we're going to then say the remainder after you remove 60. Okay. All right, so for the last one we're going to do seconds, and it's going to be total seconds, and basically we are just going to say modulus 60. Okay. All right, so let's go ahead and save. Nothing is going to happen yet. Okay. But what we're going to do is we're going to say const, and we're going to say countdown. So we're going to set a variable, and we're going to get elements by ID. So I'm just going to say document dot get elements by ID, and basically the ID I'm looking for is the countdown ID. Okay, so I'll come here and then I would say countdown dot text content. Okay, and then I'll set it to, so first let's use our template literal. Okay, so the first thing we want to do is we want to get the days, right? So I'm going to say so I'll say days, right? So maybe what I'll do is before I add my days, I'll just copy this guy so I can easily just paste it in. So I'll then say days, right? And basically I'm going to separate the days. So I'll say days here. I'll give it a space. I'll paste that in, and I'll say hours. So that will be hours, right? And I'm going to separate the hours with HR and this. Okay, and then I'll say minutes, right? And I'm just going to put min here, and of course, and then I would say seconds. Okay, so the seconds is just going to have a small letter s outside of it. Okay, we can save, and as you can see, as I saved, we have 31 days, 6 hours, 55 minutes and 54 seconds already showing. So but basically what we want to do is we want to say that when this countdown is complete, what do we want to happen? So basically I'm going to come down here, right? And I'm just going to say if total seconds it's equals to 0. Okay, basically what I want to do is I'm just going to first of all clear interval. So I'll clear interval, and which interval am I clearing? So I'll clear interval C, and then I'll then say countdown dot text content, and basically I'm going to set it to happy new year. So happy new year, right? And I'll save. But of course nothing happens because this dates we've not gotten to the end of the countdown yet. All right, so basically I will just come here to my count to, and I'll change this to 1st of January 2020. Okay, which will invariably mean that we've gotten to the end of the countdown. So I'll save. Okay, so there's something definitely wrong here. So basically let me just look at this. Countdown the text content. So maybe I'll just check my console. It's probably something I typed wrongly. So I'll just come here and I'll check my console, and it says uncut type error, assignment to constant on 18. Okay, so let's see. Oh, so this should actually be if total is less than, okay, 0. Okay, so if I save this, all right, so let's see. So now that I saved it, it's now happy new year. Okay, so I think basically we are done with that, but there's one more thing we need to do. So I'm just going to take this back to 2021 and I'll save. Okay, so you see our countdown returns. So basically what I'm going to do is for these 6 hours I'm going to add a 0 if it's a single digit. Okay, So, and the way we do that is, let's come outside of this countdown function, right? And let's create another function, and I'm just going to call this format, okay, because I want to do something with it. And I'm going to pass a parameter of t. And basically what I'm going to do is, I can use an if else statement, but it's easier to use a ternary operator. So I'll say return t if t is less than 10, right? I would say that I want to, so let me use my template literal. Okay, so I would say that I want to display a 0 in front of the t. So let's just do our dollar, and let's add our t. Okay, and then else I'll just display only t. So let's close that and save. So nothing should happen because we actually have not passed this function inside of these guys here. So basically we're going to have to come to this area here and pass the function. So for these days, for example, I'm going to say format, and I would open a bracket, and basically I'll just put the days inside of it. Okay, and okay, I really don't need it for the days, so I'm just going to get rid of this. Okay, so I need it for the hours, so I would say format, right, and I'll surround it, and then I need it for the minutes as well, so I'll just come here and say format, and then you put our brackets around the minutes, and then let's do it for the seconds as well. So we're going to say format, and yeah, so basically let's save. Okay, so you see here that we have 06 minutes, and if when the countdown gets to a number that is less than 2 digits, it's going to be 0, and that's number. So basically we use this function to add a 0 to hours, minutes, and seconds if they are less than 10. Okay, so that's basically what we did. Okay, so basically that's the countdown timer for you. So let's just see one more time. So if we change this to 2020 and we save, you see that it says Happy New Year. So basically whatever you put here is going to occur, is going to happen when your countdown finishes. Okay, so basically that's the tutorial for you. All right, so if you're not subscribed, I want to remind you to hit the like and share button and subscribe to our channel for more interesting content. Thank you so much for watching this video, and see you in another one.